So let me help you recall the last quiz first things first. Before we showed that if we had -3, the entire quantity taken to the fourth power, that was equal to positive 81. The difference between that question and this question here is the lack of parentheses in this problem. This time we need to think about order of operations. I'm not going to do a super in-depth review of this here, but we're going to give you plenty of review problems to practice it, and we'll also keep touching on it at different points throughout the course, since it's pretty fundamental to doing algebra or really any other kind of math. You may have heard some sort of mnemonic device or acronym earlier to help you remember the order that we do different mathematical operations when we're evaluating expressions. So I, for example, learned PEMDAS. Now each of these letters stands for a different mathematical operator. The P here is for parentheses, the E here stands for exponents, the M stands for multiplication, the D stands for division, the A is for addition, and last but not least, the S is for subtraction. So this can serve as a guideline to tell us what order we do all these different operations in when we're looking at some set of numbers and variables combined together with these operators. So in the last question we did, for example, since the P for parentheses comes before the E for exponents, we knew that the negative sign needed to be applied to the 3 since it was inside the parentheses before we took that number to an exponent. There are no parentheses written out here. So what we really have when we have a negative sign in front of a number, remember, is -1 times that number. So -3 is actually equal to -1 times 3, and we take this 3 to the fourth power. The 4 is only attached to this 3 now because there are no parentheses that surround the negative sign as well. Since PEMDAS tells us that we evaluate exponents before we multiply, we first need to figure out what 3 to the fourth equals before we can multiply that by -1. So we know that 3 to the fourth is equal to 3 times itself 4 times. So now we can just multiply all of this out, and we get -81. So you can see that -3 to the fourth power gives us a completely different answer than the whole quantity -3 taken to the fourth power. Parentheses make a huge difference when we're using exponents. And also, please don't forget to take advantage of the review exercises we give you. We want to make sure that things like order of operations that you've probably seen in previous courses feel completely comfortable for you. So if you're having trouble at all with this or just want to make sure that you totally understand it, do a bunch of our practice problems. This is going to help establish a really strong foundation for you as we move forward in this course.